If you fell into a black hole, you wouldn't actually see a dark void. You would see the entire future of the universe flash before your eyes in a single blinding instant. Yet, whenever SciComm channels try to explain how we cheat this cosmic speed limit, they fold a piece of paper and stab a pencil through it, as if they've solved physics. It looks brilliant, but here's the lie. That trick assumes our 3D universe is just a flat sheet we can easily bend through a higher dimension. In reality, you can't fold space because there is no outside to fold it into, making that famous demonstration a total mathematical illusion.
Here's something that should bother you. That famous rubber sheet analogy of gravity you saw in science class is almost entirely wrong. We're taught that massive objects warp physical space, like a bowling ball on a trampoline. But the spatial warping of Earth is practically microscopic. The real mind-bender is that gravity is almost purely a distortion of time, dragging your feet into a slower temporal stream than your head. You aren't being pulled down by a force. You are literally falling through fractured time.
Here's something that should bother you. The math that first predicted black holes wasn't calculated in a state-of-the-art lab, but by a German soldier named Karl Schwarzschild while dodging artillery in the trenches of World War I. He solved Einstein's complex field equations in his spare time, producing a perfect mathematical description of a collapsed star. But buried deep inside his elegant formulas lay a bizarre glitch, a point where gravity became infinite and time itself completely stopped. Without realizing it, a soldier in a muddy trench had just discovered a mathematical gateway to another universe.
Here's something that should bother you. Karl Schwarzschild didn't just calculate a black hole, he accidentally solved the equation for two. If you take his math to its absolute logical limit, the coordinate system doesn't just stop at the singularity, it mirrors itself, opening up a bizarre mathematical trapdoor. This means that on the exact opposite side of that crushing gravity well lies an entire mirrored universe, stitched directly to ours by a theoretical bridge.
Here's something that should bother you. The moment Einstein and Rosen mathematically created the first wormhole, they also doomed it. This bridge isn't a static tunnel waiting for a spaceship. It's a violent pinch in spacetime that expands and collapses faster than the speed of light. To actually cross it, you'd have to move infinitely fast because gravity slams the door shut the instant anything tries to enter. The universe's ultimate shortcut is mathematically real, but physically, it's a perfect cosmic trap. Here's something that should bother you. Even if you manage to step inside a traversable wormhole, you are mathematically guaranteed to die there. Imagine shining a flashlight through the throat. The moment that energy enters, gravity reacts instantly, pinching the tunnel shut like a collapsing lung. And here is the ultimate cosmic trap. This collapse doesn't just happen quickly, it propagates inward faster than the speed of light itself, sealing the exit before your own signal can ever reach.
Here's something that should bother you. Even if you manage to construct a wormhole, gravity would instantly slam the throat shut, crushing anything inside. To stop this cosmic collapse, you need a structural pillar that actively fights gravity. And the only way to do that is by using exotic matter, a theoretical substance with negative mass and negative energy density that literally repels the fabric of space.
Most people think negative energy is just a convenient mathematical cheat code we invented to make wormholes work on paper. But here's the mind-bending reality. If you place two uncharged metal plates nanometers apart in a vacuum, you restrict the quantum fluctuations between them, creating a literal deficit of space-time energy. The plates slam together, pushed by the higher energy of empty space outside. This is the Casimir effect, and it is absolute empirical proof that negative energy density isn't just a wild theory. We have already created it. Here's something that should bother you. If you actually managed to build a stable wormhole, you didn't just conquer space, you built a time machine. By simply accelerating one mouth of the shortcut to near light speed, time dilation turns your cosmic bridge into a temporal loop. You could step into the tunnel today and literally walk out yesterday. But that means you could prevent your own birth, revealing that the universe must forbid these portals just to protect reality itself.
Here's something that should bother you. The moment you turn a wormhole into a time machine, you accidentally trigger its self-destruct button. Quantum virtual particles enter one mouth, exit the other in the past, and loop back through over and over, multiplying exponentially at the speed of light. This infinite feedback loop creates a blinding surge of energy that tears the wormhole apart in a fraction of a second. In other words, nature protects the timeline by literally blowing up the time machine before you can even use it.
Here's something that should bother you. If wormholes break the fundamental laws of physics inside our universe, maybe we're looking at the wrong universe. What if the solution to this cosmic gridlock isn't hidden deep inside the wormhole's throat, but written on the very edge of space itself? By translating the paradox-ridden math of our three-dimensional world onto a flat, two-dimensional boundary, the holographic principle reveals that the impossible wormhole is actually a perfectly legal, mathematically beautiful illusion. Here's something that should bother you. Albert Einstein spent his final years absolutely hating two specific scientific concepts: the spooky action of quantum entanglement and the monstrous singularities of black holes. He published legendary papers in 1935 trying to disprove both, creating the EPR paradox and the ER bridge as separate battlefronts. But here is the ultimate cosmic twist he never lived to see. Those two grudges are actually the exact same thing, proving that wormholes aren't just tunnels through space, they are quantum entanglement made visible.
Here's something that should bother you. Two of the most mind-bending concepts in physics, wormholes and quantum entanglement, are actually the exact same thing. Back in 1935, Einstein co-authored two separate papers, one on Einstein-Rosen bridges and another on the spooky connection between distant particles. For decades, these were treated as entirely different fields, until a bombshell conjecture called ER equals EPR changed everything. The revelation? That invisible thread instantly linking two entangled particles across the universe is literally a microscopic wormhole. Here's something that should bother you. The smooth, continuous fabric of space you see around you might be a total illusion. If you zoom in past the atoms, down to the absolute limits of scale, space-time should tear itself to shreds. But it doesn't, because quantum mechanics suggests space is being stitched together by a chaotic web of microscopic, fleeting wormholes. The very structure of our reality is held together by billions of subatomic bridges.
Most people think wormholes are just sci-fi shortcuts to distant galaxies, a cosmic highway for future starships. But the mathematical truth is far stranger and infinitely more profound. They aren't massive tunnels waiting to be discovered in deep space. Instead, these microscopic bridges of entanglement might be the very quantum threads stitching the fabric of our space-time together.